Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to Formula Amateur, where today we'll be talking all about IndyCar NXT, who's taking part, which team are they on, and what races have been taking part, as well as what the races coming up are and the championship so far. So let's get into it, shall we? So first of all, let's talk about the sport itself. So IndyCar Next is sort of the Formula 2 to IndyCar. So this is where the drivers start off with before they get their opportunity to join IndyCar. But these races are all in America. You don't have to be American to take part, but the races are all in America. And there are 8 teams. Each team has a varying number of drivers, depending on how many they want to have or any other factors that may come into this. And the first team we'll be discussing is AJ Foyt Enterprises, who started in 1966. So their team principal is Larry Foyt, and do bear with me as I'm looking down on my notes so I get this correct. Their drivers are with the number 4, Nicolas Monteiro from Brazil, and number 14, Alessandro De Tullio from the USA, but he does have Argentinian origins. And then the next one is Abel Motorsports, who started in 2022. Team principal is Bill Abel, and their drivers are with number 12, Max Garcia from the USA. In number 48 is Jordan Messig, who is from the USA as well. With number 57, it's Colin Kaminsky from the USA as well. All of their drivers are from the USA. And with the number 99, it's Miles Rowe with a W. This will be important later on. And then the next team is Andretti Global, who started in 2003, and their current team principal is Ron Ruszewski. Their drivers are with number 26, Loki Hughes from Australia. Number 27 is Seb Murray from Scotland. Number 28 is Max Taylor from the USA. And number 29 is Josh Pearson, also from the USA. Then the next team is Cape Motorsports, powered by ECR. They started in 2010. Their team principal is Dominic and Nicholas Cape. With number 20, their driver is Matteo Nannini from Italy, and I believe his father is a former Formula One driver. In number 21 is Nikita Johnson from the USA. He recently drove in Formula 3. And then for the next team, it's Chip Ganassi Racing, who started in 1990. And their current team principal is Mike Hull. Their drivers with number 8 is James Rowe without a W from Ireland, and number 9 is Aaron from the USA, and with number 10 it's Niels Colin from the Netherlands, and with number 11 is Carson Etter from the USA. And then the next team is Cusick Morgan Motorsports, who started in 2021. The team principals are Don Cusick and Billy Morgan. Their drivers with number 50, Nicholas Stati from Australia, and then their other driver is J.M. Correa from the USA, and he also was in Formula 3 before, and his number is 68. Then the next team is HMD Motorsports, who started in 2021. Their team principal is Henry Malukas, and their driver numbers are 17 for Salvador de Alba from Mexico, number 45 for Jack Beaton from Australia, number 67 for Enzo Fittipaldi from Brazil. His father is Emerson Fittipaldi, or his grandfather, one of the two. And then number 71 is Tymek Kucharczyk from Poland, who is often called Timmy Kachow because people don't want to pronounce his name correctly. And then the final team is Junkos Hollinger Racing, who started in 2017. Their team principal is Ricardo Junkos and Brad Hollinger, and their driver numbers are 75 for Alexander Correba from the USA, and number 76 for Ricardo Escoto from Mexico. And now let's get into the races. So the first race they took part in was on March 1st in St. Petersburg in Florida, and this was around an airfield. And in terms of qualifying, so there are 24 drivers, and in 24th position was Fittipaldi. In 23rd position was Nannini. In 22nd was Etta. In 21st was Rowe without a W. In 20th was Koreba. 19th was Aaron. In 18th was Missig. In 17th was Starty. In 16th was Kaminsky. In 15th was Colin. In 14th was Escotto. In 13th was Beaton. In 12th was Garcia. In 11th is Monteiro. In 10th is Dialba. In 9th is Correa. In 8th is DeTulio. In 7th is Rowe with a W. In 6th is Pearson. In 5th is Kohadchik. In 4th is Hughes. In 3rd is Murray. In 2nd is Johnson. And in 1st is Taylor. And then in terms of the racing, in 24th is Etta, who did not finish the race. In 23rd is Monteiro, who also did not finish the race. In 22nd is Colin, who also did not finish the race. And in 21st is Rowe without a W, who also did not finish the race. Then the first finisher was Koreba in 20th, followed by Nanini in 19th. In 18th is Aaron. 17th is Fittipaldi. 16th is Starty. 15th is Kaminsky. In 14th is Missig. In 13th is Escotto. In 12th is Garcia. In 11th is Beaton. In 10th is DeTulio. In 9th is Correa. In 8th is Dialba. In 7th was Pearson. In 6th was Rowe with a W. In 5th was Hughes. In 4th was Murray. 3rd was Kohadchik. In 2nd was Taylor. And in 1st was Johnson. And then on to the second race of the calendar, which was Arlington on the 14th to the 15th. And in terms of the qualifying, in 24th position was Koreba. In 23rd was Aaron. In 22nd was Rowe without a W. In 21st was Monteiro. In 20th was Etta. In 19th was Coulon. In 18th was Escotto. In 17th was Missig. In 16th was Kaminsky. In 15th was Garcia. In 14th was Starty. In 13th was Dialba. In 12th was Pearson. In 11th was Murray. In 10th was Rowe with a W. In 9th was Nanini. 8th was Hughes. In 7th was Correa. In 6th was Johnson. In 5th was Beaton. In 4th was Taylor. In 3rd was Kohadchik. In 2nd was Fittipaldi. And in 1st was DeTulio. And in terms of the racing, in 24th was Kaminsky, who did not finish the race. And in 23rd was Pearson, who also did not finish the race. In 22nd was Monteiro. In 21st was Starty. In 20th was Dialba. 19th was Etta. In 18th was Aaron. In 17th was Rowe without a W. In 16th was Koreba. In 15th was Beaton. In 14th was Garcia. In 13th was Coulon. In 12th was Escotto. In 11th was DeTulio. In 10th was Rowe with a W. In 9th was Nanini. In 8th is Hughes. In 7th is Correa. In 6th is Johnson. In 5th is Beaton. In 4th is Taylor. In 3rd is Kohadchik. In 2nd is Fittipaldi. And in 1st is DeTulio. So in terms of the racing, in 24th was Kaminsky and in 23rd was Pearson, both of which did not finish the race. In 22nd was Monteiro, in 21st was Starty, in 20th was Dialba, 19th was Etta, in 18th was Aaron, in 17th was Rowe without a W, in 16th was Koreba, in 15th was Beaton, in 14th was Garcia, in 13th was Coulon, in 12th was Escotto, in 11th was DeTulio, in 10th was Missig, in 9th was Rowe with a W, in 8th was Nanini, in 7th was Murray, in 6th was Johnson, in 8th was Hughes, in 4th was Correa, in 3rd was Kohadchik, in 2nd was Fittipaldi, and in 1st was Taylor. And now let's go into the Alabama race 1. This has a race on the Saturday and then race 2 was on the Sunday. So this one is on the 28th of March. And in terms of the qualifying, in 24th was Coulon, in 23rd was Kaminsky, in 22nd was Etta, in 21st was Nanini, in 20th was Koreba, in 19th was Hughes, in 18th was Rowe without a W, in 17th was Beaton, in 16th was Monteiro, in 15th was Starty, in 14th was Dialba, in 13th was Escotto, in 12th was Murray, in 11th was Pearson, in 10th was Correa, in 9th was Rowe with a W, in 8th was Missig, in 7th was Garcia, in 6th was Kohadchik, in 5th was Aaron, in 4th was Fittipaldi, in 3rd was Johnson, in 2nd was Taylor, and in 1st was DeTulio. And in terms of the actual race, in 24th was Pearson, who did not finish the race. He was the only one that didn't. In 23rd was Rowe without a W. In 22nd was Murray. In 21st was Etta. In 20th was DeTulio. In 19th was Taylor. In 18th is Dialba. In 17th was Coulon. In 16th was Kaminsky. 15th was Nanini. In 14th was Monteiro. In 13th was Koreba. 12th was Hughes. In 11th was Correa. In 10th was Starty. In 9th was Beaton. In 8th was Aaron, in 7th was Escotto, in 6th was Missig, in 5th was Rowe with a W, in 4th was Garcia, in 3rd was Kuhadchik, in 2nd was Fittipaldi, and in 1st was Johnson. And now let's talk about Alabama race 2, which was on the 29th of March. In 24th, in terms of qualifying, was Coulin. In 23rd was Kaminsky. In 22nd was Etta. In 21st was Hughes. In 20th was Correba. In 19th was Nanini. In 18th was Monteiro. In 17th was Escotto. In 16th was Rowe without a W. In 15th was Beaton. In 14th was De Alba. In 13th is Starty. In 12th is Murray. In 11th is Aaron. In 10th is Correa. In 9th is Pearson. In 8th is Kuharczyk. In 7th is Rowe with a W. In 6th is Fittipaldi. In 5th is Garcia. In 4th is Missig. In 3rd is Johnson. In 2nd is Taylor. And in 1st is DeTulio. And in terms of the race, in 24th was Garcia, who did not finish the race. And in 23rd was Rowe with a W, who did not finish the race. In 22nd is Correba. In 21st is Etta. In 20th is Coulin. In 19th is Monteiro. In 18th is Kaminsky. In 17th is Escotto. In 16th is Hughes. In 15th is Starty. In 14th is Pearson. In 13th is Nanini. In 12th is Rowe without a W. In 11th is Dialba. In 10th is Murray. In 9th is Beaton. In 8th is Correa. In 7th is Aaron. In 6th is Missig. In 5th is Kuhadchik. In 4th is Fittipaldi. In 3rd is Johnson. In 2nd is Taylor. In 1st is Tullio. And now let's talk about the Drivers' Championship before we get into what the other races are and when they happen. So in 24th position with 35 points is Etta. In 23rd position is Monteiro with 42 points. 22nd is Kaminsky with 47 points. With the 21st position for Rowe without a W. On 47. Then in the 20th is Coulin with 48 points. In 19th is Correbo with 49 points. In 18th is Pearson with 55 points. 17th is Starty with 58 points. 16th is De Alba with 65 points. 15th is Nanini with 67 points. In 14th is Garcia on 72 points. In 13th is Escotto with 74 points, with Aaron on in 12th with 74 points as well. In 11th is Beaton on 79 points, and then in 10th is Murray with 86 points, followed by Rowe with a W, 1 point ahead in with 87. Then in 8th is Missig with a 92. Then in 7th is Hughes, also with 92. In 6th is Correa with 97. In 5th is DeTulio with 108. In 4th is Fittipaldi with 129. In 3rd is Kuhadchik with 135. In 2nd is Taylor with 145. And in 1st is Johnson with 168. And now on to the rest of the race calendar. The first race coming up is Indianapolis first race. So that's on the 8th of May, followed by Indianapolis 2 on the 9th of May. And we're in Detroit on the 31st of May, and the Worldwide Tech Raceway in Illinois on the 7th of June, then Road America Race 1 on the 20th of June, and Road America 2 on the 21st of June, Mid-Ohio Race 1 on the 4th of July, and Mid-Ohio Race 2 on the 5th of July, then Music City in Tennessee on the 19th of July, Portland on the 9th of August, Milwaukee Mile on the 30th of August, and then Monterey Race 1 on the 5th of September, and then Monterey Race 2 on the 6th of September, which is the final race. Thank you so much for listening or watching to this episode of Formula Amateur, where we discussed IndyCar NXT. Don't forget to check out my lovely colleagues on the Be The Change Media Network. Don't forget to check out BeTheChangeMediaNetwork.com, and next week we'll be discussing IndyCar, sort of same format, but this will be what these guys are aiming to get to in the next step of the journey. So be on the lookout for that. That will be next weekend. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I'll see you next weekend. Have a good one. Good.